Pisces, 12th house sun, hello. Hello, I'm Paulina the Crazy Psychic Lady, and I'm reporting from my hotel in Sanur, Bali, Indonesia. I'm not naked, I'm wearing a dress. I'm wearing a dress. Okay, very nice to see you, very nice to meet you. Let's talk about 12th house sun, and I've had a lot of clients. Oh boy, I've had a lot of happy clients with 12th house sun and 6th house sun as well. Very happy to see you. My boyfriend is a Pisces sun, so let's have a look at what this means. Well, basically, happiness and joy is something that is elusive to you forever. And it's not because it's not available, it's not there yet. It's just basically like it's a very strange state of being to be a Piscean or a 12th house sun individual, because you're not made for revolutionizing happiness. You are not made for revolutionizing joy and frustration that builds into nothing, and then from nothing comes something, like how people can pull a rabbit out of a hat. Suddenly life is joyful, suddenly life is happy, suddenly life is full blue multicolored dimension. And it can be sometimes if you've got very powerful Saturn or like racy raving Pluto in the first house, like things can be different. But a lot of the time for this energy, despite where you placed on your chart, generally it's a very placid feeling. It's like, am I there? No, I am not. I am sad. Look, that bugs me, that bothers me, and things bother and prod. It's like being a newborn baby. It's being like a newborn baby and then having to wake up in this ugly clothes, and having to suck on a tit or a bottle and just having people in your face. It's like a weird annoying frequency that Pisces and 12th house sun natives have to go through every day. It's like being corroded by this ugly emotional ride where things are crazy and things are craving you and you don't want them, and then you want something but it's way too far away. It's like being a newborn baby, and it's something that Pisces doesn't understand because it is a very old sign. It is a very still sign. It is a very emotional sign. It is like a decrepit old man or woman that can't move anymore, and they lay there in bed looking at the ceiling, but still there is a part of them that wants to be more like Aries, because it's the sign of your ascension, ironically, as we go back to the beginning of the zodiac with you. And sometimes you may feel like you just want to surrender to this, like I'm a newborn baby, I don't know why this is. And you see like that in a lot of old people. Surprisingly, with Pisces, no matter what age or what condition you have, that sign of you, that side of you will always be there, will prevail, especially in situations where there's nothing to freaking whine about. People got food, people got money, people got possessions, people got lovers, people got partners, people got love, people got emotions, people got a lot. And then you're still kind of feeling like, but it's not for me. Like, you're a tiny baby, and if you've ever seen a baby, and sometimes they cry, they just go, wow, about nothing. And the mother is like, oh my God, do you need changing? Do you need hugging? Do you need shaking? Do you need milk? What do you want? And the baby can't freaking understand anything. It's just like crying. And that's what Pisces sometimes represents to other people, even though they don't think that they're out of line. But for many other people, life is freaking forward. Life is basic, people pleasing freaking life. Are you hungry? No. Are you happy? I don't know. Do you have enough money? Yeah. And it's freaking basic. But for Pisces, it's like, are you happy? Do you know what that is? I don't know what that is. And it'd be really hard. It's like, do you know who you are? I don't know who I am. What are you? And Pisces sometimes can be very harsh with words and feelings when they don't know somebody, when they're not happy. So when a Pisces boyfriend of mine, walks into a store and he feels not safe in himself, and we got to order a cab, or we got to ask where the near bus stop is or something like that, he can be very rude. And that's not because he is. It's just basically because sometimes Pisces, when it's not feeling safe and it's not very held and it's not feeling nurtured by its environment, it basically feels like it needs to protect its own experience from becoming worse. It's like, this is already bad, I need to protect myself. And they kind of get a little bit drawn out of themselves, and they sort of step out, and they become very aggressive in very strange ways, like a baby would become aggressive, or a child. It's like, oh, don't give me that, I want this. Why would you give me a mandarin and not a peach? It's like a really interesting sort of possessive feeling over everything. It's like, okay, I'm here, all is here, this could get worse. Because Pisceans, they kind of understand that water reality is like one thing, you know, everything is just like freaking gas, everything is always moving and shifting, and things could crack and change any minute. And at the same time, they also know that part of them is always in joy, and that part of them is like completely freaking two-faced. And when things can be very bright for other people, they can be a little bit blasé, but inside of them, they're looking for a way out. Like, everybody's happy. And, you know, they're happy too. Like, look, this is me and my wife. This is my child. You know, like, they can be really happy. And then something inside them kind of goes, fuck, I need to go. And it won't be even, like, really genuine. It'll just be like their feet will just start walking. You know, their feelings will just start feeling elsewhere. They'll start texting other people. They'll think about organizing a party, or look, there's a bottle of beer, or maybe I'll need to have a little bit of an accident. Oh my God, I'm in a hospital. You know, they kind of create this interesting reality where things that are safe for others don't feel safe for them. And then they'll do things that seem completely nonsensical, all in order to achieve some kind of a stability. Finally, the accident happened. Okay, the worst is behind me. I've had an accident. I'm now in hospital. Okay. Now the only way I can go is up. And this creates a really like, almost like, I want to even say demonic experience. I don't know why I want to say that, but it can be a very up and down ride where things can seem very strange when they shouldn't be, or things are freaking awesome, you know, or like things are really hard and suddenly they're like rejoicing. They could rejoice when they're on their deathbed. Very often, Pisces people, they can be very glad and flamboyant when they got a big sore, like they got like a twisted ankle, they've broken their toes or something like that. There is a little bit of joy in Pisces. And that's because they kind of understand that life begins anew when there's a death. There's a loss, something's got to happen, something's got to give. Okay, come on, give me the money. Like, now give me the partner. And it's something that Pisces can do to get out of circumstance as well. When they can see things are stabilizing, they see, oh, this is my life for the next few years. You know, wow, like this hotel is nice. Or like, oh wow, this experience is nice. And then they feel like, oh goodness. And then they go to like stuff it up. They could trip up, they could fall, they could call somebody at the wrong time, they could have a fight with their spouse, they can have anything like that happen. They grind their gears when things are perfect because they don't really want to settle, because for them settlement and any kind of type of reality is very difficult. And then when we're talking about like life and the idea of joy and the idea of happiness and actually happy life with Piscean energy, happiness eludes them till they can just be themselves with no need for anybody else in the picture at all. So when you are in a Piscean relationship with a Pisces, or if you're a Pisces yourself, you're in a relationship with other people, and it doesn't matter if they're partner, family, whatever, you have to know that you must be alone to the point where everything blurs, nothing matters. I don't freaking know where I am, how long it's been. I don't know if I've been sitting here for an hour or 6 hours. It's just like something spazzing out. Oh my God, my heartbeat is fast. I'm worried. Just feel that, like, you'll have chemical changes, you'll have chemical balances that you perhaps don't even have conscious understanding of. Oh my God, I feel like I'm like being stabbed from the back or something. Oh, okay, I'm fine. And sometimes like it could be a past life. 12th house people, Pisces people, sometimes you have a past life and you have these uncontrollable urges or uncontrollable stimulus that comes over you, and you feel like, I have no idea why, but you have to wait it out. You have to be by yourself. You have to stop thinking and wondering who, why, what's going on. Was it my partner that threw that knife at my back? Was it my mom thinking bad things? No. Sometimes it's just past life trauma, and it can be even like past life memories, like feeling like you're going to be stabbed in the back, for example, and feeling that for a long time, and then just feeling like any situation where there's people behind you, like looking at your back, who's behind me? You know, like neurotic activity like that can really take away from your health, and it can also really like bring to you really like worse circumstances. Like say you've been stabbed in the back in your past life, you're freaking out about it, you actually like feeling something's up, you know, you're in a group of people are behind you don't trust people who actually like physically stand behind you, and then something might happen, like, you know, you might be like on a freaking bus, somebody squeezes past you, and like say their bag has got a sharp corner, and they like accidentally get your back with it, like in the same spot usually, and then you're like, ah, and then something happens, and then you're laughing, like it'll be just like one of those things. Sometimes you have to have the biggest fear happen to you in like a really small way, because Pisceans are generally like not very outreaching with actual physical experiences. Is like really normal things can freak them out. Sometimes they can like get injured in a really funny way out of the blue. And sometimes just about having that fear and having that sharp like oh feeling, because that can actually pull you into a drama free existence. It's like, oh my god, so scary, so scary. Just have the scary, oh my god, it's scary. And then you're like, okay, scary movies, not so good for you, because they have different fears. But if you say, for example, and this is a very unique experience, say you're obsessed with Jaws, the movie, you've never been able to watch it, but you got the t-shirt, Jaws, something being eaten, you're being eaten, and sometimes say you're eating your food, you got, your spoon, and you're like, oh my god, it's Jaws, like, and you kind of get afraid of it. You've never seen the movie, watch the movie, really, scary movie. Watch a movie about zombies if you're obsessed with a zombie apocalypse as an idea. Like, there's something about it just makes you feel freaky, because sometimes it's about reliving the thing over and over, but be a very specific thing. For example, if you've been in a culture in your past life or in your ancestral lineage that had like World War II happen, World War I happen, and you're still not washing that energy out of you in this lifetime, and you're afraid when you're in public, you're afraid in huge groups of people, you got weird paranoia and phobia that you can't show, and for some reason your life will stature you in a way where you're constantly surrounded by people. Say, for example, you work as a person that moves through the bus clipping tickets, or say you have to be in a big group of people all the time, and there's lots of yelling and screaming, and it is something that you manifested as a given in this life, like you can't get out of it. Maybe in your past life, and in your family's lineage too, maybe you've had a lot of people who've died, or you've seen a lot of people die in a war. Watch World War II movies, like freak yourself out, and just keep on like documentaries, not the fake stuff, or the fake stuff as well, but docos. Watch the docos, like every day for a freaking week, just to get that out of your system, just to cleanse it, and then after that, you'll be so freaking surprised. But your job changes. There's not as many people, or you get promoted. It's like, well, you've been clipping tickets. Can you like start like working at the office, and all you need to do is answer a few phone calls and sit there by yourself for a while, flipping through dirty magazines or whatever you want to do. And it's going to be like a big change for you. And then like I feel that for Pisces and for 12th house people, a pattern individuates itself. There'll be a certain pattern. Certain type of women, certain type of men, certain type of work, certain type of scenarios that repeats most days, just to let you resolve it. Like, just to let you resolve it. So what are the patterns in your life that you're like, oh, about? Okay, for example, there could be a pattern where people come and go. Like, people come and go and they don't really pay much attention, they're not really there, and then they move. Like, say you make a friend and you feel like you can connect to them, you can get to know them, but they sort of suddenly disappear. You meet a girl, you like have sex with a girl, you have a connection with a girl if you're a guy, or a girl, doesn't matter. And then suddenly, like, she just leaves the country. Like, things like that. People come in and then they go. People come in and then they go. And you're like, what the hell am I? Am I a freaking, like, freak show or something? Am I, like, a free-for-all? Why is nobody stationary with me? Why is nobody coming to me? Why is nobody staying with me? Maybe that was a past life thing. Say, if you want to, you can commit to that. Like, leave yourself behind. Like, sit at a bench or, like, a bar stool somewhere in the desert of human experience. Like, just if you're like a flamboyant woman or like flamboyant man, dress up, go to a bar at night and sit there, and then let people circulate through you. Oh, hello, very nice to meet you. And then off they go. Hi, that's one. And just like, don't give them anything, or give them your all, whatever you're willing to give. And then, this is wonderful, so nice to meet you. Oh, you've got to go, you've got a flight tomorrow. You meet a wonderful lady, and then she's got to leave for another country the next day. And then you're like, okay, that's wonderful. And then you're just wondering, what's in it for me? What do I feel? Like, what do I feel when I'm in a place where people just pass me by? And then you're like, well, actually, I feel a little bit hurt that, like, one day perhaps my mom, when I was younger, and you don't have to search for it, it'll come up by itself. I encourage people to search for the stuff, but sometimes it'll just, like, come up, like, bleh, like verbal spew, like emotional, energetic spew. When I was very young, my mom, like, wouldn't really take care of me. She'd like come over and give me a bottle and she'd just like walk away. And then I wouldn't see her for what it seemed like days when it was just a few minutes. And then my dad would come over and say, hey sport, how's it going? Good job on your homework. And then he'd just walk away. And then you'll feel it. You're like, oh, it's just like my family shit. And I'm still carrying it around. And then when Pisces understands, they like no longer get emotional about it. They like see it and they're like, but what about she was like my mom. Oh, but what about the job I got? Oh, that's like what my dad used to do. And they'll see like all these different patterns and then they kind of go, I don't actually need to conform to that situation anymore. And that's hard sometimes because then they go to like make a new situation. So basically 12th house sun and Pisces, you will always connect to yourself in a weird way. There'll always be something unglued. There'll always be something making you nervous, making you sad, making you something. One thing will be resolved, another thing comes up. Oh, okay, that's not complicated at all. Oh, another thing comes up, and it'll be like a process. And happiness will be something that's only like almost in a moment of sadness or starvation, or that person didn't call me but I really wanted them to and I wonder what she's doing right now. Happiness comes in weird ways till one day you can just go, I ain't got the fucking time for that shit. And like get really freaking rude. And this is what sometimes happens when you're in an unsafe situation and you want to ask somebody something, or you're with customers, in customer service, even if you're a representative, or you're like going to some kind of like, say, pokey machine. There's other people. When you don't know them, you have no emotional connection to them, you have no story. You like walk into a store and somebody doesn't speak English. And there'll be something in you, and this isn't every single Pisces, they'll be like, what the fuck, you're incompetent. I don't fucking have time for this. Why? Because you've come to resolve your story, and eventually in a needy moment, you'll actually find when you're really needy, that kicks in. You're like, I don't freaking have time for that. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that either. And there'll be something in you that will just like freaking count every minute of your time. And you'll be like, I could breathe in this minute. I could freaking go for a walk in this minute. I could take care of my kids in this minute. I could do so many things in this minute. And that's when you wake up. And then the minute becomes like a hunger. Every minute is like a hunger. It's like a burst of opportunity. And then you become almost like drunk on every single second and time. And that is something that is very supreme as an awakening. And many Pisces perhaps have had that at least once in their life. But this hunger, like I want more. It's almost like you realize that you've been swimming in an ocean that was actually a desert. And that you want, it's almost like water becomes fire and fire becomes water. It's like you want to be more like Aries and you want to be more like on time. Well, yeah, I could lay in bed there and reminisce about my ex-girlfriend for another hour, like I've been doing like every day. Whoa, what am I doing with my time? Oh my god, like I ain't got no time for this. And that's something that happens with Arian people a lot. And Pisces that are becoming more like Aries, 12th house people that are becoming more like first house people, eventually when they get rid of their like, oh, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what these people are doing, and they sort of lead with that sadness, and they understand that sadness, and they understand their anxiety, in due time they just become bored of themselves. And when they're lying there in bed, sometimes it can be very still, very calming, but eventually there'll come a time when this person is bored to death of everything that they are. And in that boredom, they're bored of everyone else, and they just want to get the thing done, whatever the thing may be. And it may be like a really stupid little thing, and it could be a very big thing. It could be like writing music for a philharmonic orchestra, or it could be like, say, riding ponies. Say taking your kid riding ponies and looking at those ponies and grooming those ponies and making your kid, wear those wonderful dresses and, like into little pageants, and then like investing all your time into something that is very unique. Very unique. But that's only when you realize that your time is wasted here until you can really wake up out of your previous dreams. And all the previous dreams are like insufficiencies, instabilities. Why are these people like this? Why is this guy looking at me? Is he thinking about hurting me? Because you've come to deal with your unconscious in a huge way. And that means for many of you guys, 12th house, Pisces house, drugs and alcohol. I'm not good, your friend sometimes. A sexual experience with strangers, not good, your friend often, a lot, can be. Because People go through this darkness, the house of losses, the house of the 12, the strange, immoral behavior, just to freaking get a glimpse of fear, just to get a glimpse of, oh, this would happen. I had to see a prostitute because in my last 2 lives, I was a prostitute. You know, things like that. And it will just click, and then you're like, oh, why did it, like, I'm not even in it for the sex. Why do I keep on looking at her face? Why do I want to see her? Why do I want to just, like, look at her face while we're doing it? It's not even about the sex. Because you've been a prostitute in your last life. Or say you've had a parent wound where your mum was maybe a hooker for a couple of weeks to support you or something like that. But there is, like, definitely some kind of a deep, distraught memory, genetic or otherwise. Genetic, unconscious, but it's all to do with you. It's never, okay, you know, like Pisces people, I'm such an empath, I feel everyone, I feel everyone's pain. No, you don't. Pisces, okay, Aquarian people can, Cancerian people can, not usually, but sometimes they can. Leos even, you cannot. And it's really interesting because, you know, we think like Pisces is such a psychic sign. Pisces is this, and you can feel like, I want peace for everyone. I want peace. That's an Aquarian trait. And there is something that Pisces has mastered in the past lives, but this life for them is very personal. And it may not seem so because they're kind of washed out and dreamy for a lot of us. But Pisces, you will not feel empathy. You will not be possessed by empathy unless it is completely yours. So when you're feeling like, oh my god, that kid is getting tortured, oh my god, I can't breathe, I can't watch, oh my god, that woman got molested, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, maybe I'm just picking up her things, maybe I'm just picking up other people's things, maybe it's not mine, maybe it's just in my field, maybe it's my girlfriend, maybe it's her mom. No, everything that you pick up in this lifetime is either being directly done to you or by you or through you in some way, but most likely to you. There is definitely a victimhood there that hasn't been transcended in the past lives. And if you are very empathetic towards another person or anything, it is all directly from your past. And you basically just have to like pick it up, run with it, go with it, see it, have a look at it, understand it, nurture it, touch it, feel it, understand what you are here for. And that is to basically transcend all those karmic patterns, all those insecurities, all those instabilities, to one day be like, fuck it, I ain't got no time for anything. I've resolved all my karma. Do I want to sit around with this like homeless person and, you know, think about the truth of the world? No, I freaking don't. Do I want to like pay this person to, you know, kiss me? You know, do I want to pay this person to massage me? Like, say I'm compulsively seeking the same type of massage from the same type of person. Because, you know, I want to remember my mom, or I'm feeling of not nurtured or being over nurtured in the past. Do I want to spend my time doing these things? And eventually Pisces will be like, actually, no, I don't have any time. I have no freaking time. And when these people get possessed with an idea of a family or a friendship with somebody forever, in the end, after they've come to the conclusions that they had to come through, they'll find themselves either very lonely in a marriage, or they'll find themselves very happy in a marriage where both parties are relatively on their own. And one person's doing their thing and the other person's doing their thing, and nobody's in each other's face trying to be like, oh honey, just touch my face, I just want to see you smile, I just want to touch you. Like, that sort of comes over you, this deep needing for a perfect relationship, perfect whatever, because it's unfinished business with someone else sometimes. And when you're in a relationship and you're like, fuck, you know, I really love you, oh my god, awesome, okay, so I've got time, I can do these things and I can let you do these things, you do half, I do half, we come together, we make it happen. And you can like build things, you can build civilizations with your partners, you can build huge things with other people, you can let people be born through you, like kids, projects, different types of evolutions can take place through you when you know, when you understand that you ain't got no freaking time for anything. Anyway, very, very nice to understand you better. Thank you very much, Pisces. I hope you have a good day. Subscribe, like, learn more about me on my website. You can book a reading with me, you can book a horoscope, you can book a trauma thing. I do past lives, I read past lives. I can tell you how. I do it through the 12th house. Even if you like, say, not a 12th house, if you're just a Pisces, like in the 7th house or something, I can read your past lives. I can do a lot of things. I do energy healing online. I do it in person. I do like a freaky amount of different stuff. So yeah, have a look at my website if you're interested. If you're not, that's fine as well. and leave a comment and like and subscribe. Thank you very much, Pisces, for holding my hand. I really enjoy your presence in my life.